Part 1. The Greenhouse That Wasn't Hers. Topeka, Kansas, March 2020. The greenhouse smelled of wet earth and rosemary. Maggie O'Leary, 60 years old and widowed for 8, stood at the potting bench in her rubber boots, pruning a lemon verbena that had outgrown its terracotta prison. Her hands, freckled like robin eggs, moved with the certainty of a woman who had coaxed life from soil since she was 12. Outside, Kansas wind rattled the glass panes. Inside, tomatoes blushed red, basil spilled over the edges of raised beds, and a single orchid, her husband Tom's last gift, bloomed purple against the frost. The doorbell chimed. Becca stood on the porch, coat unbuttoned despite the cold, belly swollen at 6 months. She had Tom's dark eyes and none of his patience. "Maggie, I need to talk." They sat at the kitchen table, the one Tom had built from barnwood in 1998. Becca didn't remove her scarf. "The wedding's in June. Venue deposit is $5,000. Then the honeymoon Maui. Another 8. I'm short." Chamomile. Becca hated chamomile. "You still have the greenhouse," Becca said, eyes on the steam. "It's worth 30 easy. Sell it. I'll pay you back when the photography business takes off." Maggie's fingers tightened around the mug. The greenhouse wasn't a building. It was Tom's laugh echoing off the rafters when the first tomato ripened. It was the place she went when the silence after his stroke became too loud. It was her lungs. But Becca's voice cracked. "I am scared, Maggie. This baby. I want to give her everything you gave me." "You gave me?" Maggie thought. "I was 28 when your mama left you on my doorstep with a note that said I can't. I gave you bedtime stories and chicken soup and college tuition I couldn't afford." She heard herself say, "Take it." Part 2. The Sale. April 2020. The realtor was a man named Kyle who smelled of new car and ambition. He walked the aisles with a clipboard, tapping glass like it was cheap plastic. Prime location. Zone commercial. Developer wants it for condos. Maggie signed where he pointed. $32,000. Menos fees. Menos taxes. 28 left. Becca hugged her in the driveway, belly pressing against Maggie's ribs. "You're a saint. I'll name the baby after you if it's a girl." The bulldozers came on a Tuesday. Maggie watched from the kitchen window as the orchid was crushed under a steel track. She didn't cry until the lemon verbena went down. Part 3. The Seed Packet. May 2020. The house felt hollow. The backyard was a scar of red clay and broken pots. Maggie cleaned out the attic to avoid it. In a box marked Tom, "Do not open till I'm gone," she found his wedding ring, too small for her fingers. A Polaroid of them at the county fair, 1987, her hair in braids. A yellowed envelope addressed in his blocky handwriting. "For Maggie, when she forgets to grow for herself." Inside, a plane ticket to Oaxaca, Mexico, dated 2015 and used, and a seed packet labeled in Spanish, "Maíz azul de las abuelas." Blue corn. On the back, Tom had written, "You always said you wanted to see the mountains where your grandmother was born." The ticket's open-ended. "The seeds are from her village. Plant them when you're ready to stop watering everyone else's dreams." Maggie laughed until she sobbed. Tom had died before he could tell her. Part 4. Oaxaca. June 2020. The plane landed in Oaxaca City at dusk. The air smelled of copal and roasted corn. Maggie clutched her canvas bag. 3 dresses, Tom's ring on a chain, the seed packet. A woman waited at arrivals holding a sign, "Margaret O'Leary, Cooperativa de Mujeres Sembrando Sueños." Dona Rosa was 70 if she was a day, braids silver as moonlight, eyes sharp as obsidian. She hugged Maggie like a daughter. "Your husband wrote to us 5 years ago. Said his wife would come when she was brave enough." The cooperative was 20 women strong, all widows or abandoned, farming terraced hills outside Tlacayola. They grew heirloom corn, beans, squash. They grew each other. Maggie's first night, they fed her mole negro so rich it stained her lips. Dona Rosa handed her a hupil embroidered with tiny blue corn kernels. "Tomorrow you plant." Part 5. The blue corn. July, August 2020. The soil was rocky, the sun merciless. Maggie's back screamed after the first day. The women laughed, not unkindly, and showed her how to use a COA, a digging stick older than empires. She planted the blue corn in a small plot they called El Rincón de la Viuda, the widow's corner. Every morning, she woke before dawn. The mountains turned pink, then gold. She sang to the seeds. Old Irish lullabies her grandmother had sung, mixed with the Spanish she was learning. The corn grew. First green shoots, then tassels like silk scarves. The women taught her to make tortillas azules that tasted of sky and smoke. One night a storm came. Lightning split a cedar tree. Rain flooded the lower fields. Maggie ran out in her nightgown, trying to save her plot. Dona Rosa found her knee-deep in mud, crying over bent stalks. Plants break, the old woman said. So do people. But they grow crooked and strong. Part 6. The Market. October 2020. The Tianguis in Tlacayola was chaos in color. Maggie's table. Blue corn tortillas, a toll thick as velvet. Tiny bags of seeds labeled para recorder. To remember. A girl no older than 10 stopped, eyes wide. Señora, why is the corn blue? Maggie knelt. Because some things are more beautiful when they're rare. Like you. The girl bought a tortilla with a crumpled peso. Her mother, watching, asked in halting English, "You are the widow from Kansas?" Word had spread. By noon, Maggie's table was bare. She counted the money. Enough for a month's rent on the tiny adobe house the cooperative let her use. Dona Rosa appeared with a bottle of mezcal. Tonight, we celebrate El Dia de los Muertos. You will honor your dead. Part 7. The Altar. November 1st, 2020. The altar was in the courtyard. Marigolds like fire, sugar skulls, Tom's photo beside a candle. Maggie placed a blue tortilla on the ofrenda. The women danced. Children laughed. Someone played a guitar. Maggie felt Tom's hand on her shoulder, though no one was there. Later, alone, she whispered to the stars, "I grew for myself, Tom. Just like you said." Part 8. The Letter. December 2020. It came via the cooperative's post office box. Becca's handwriting shaky. "Maggie, the baby's here. A girl. We named her Rosemary, after your herb garden. I sold the greenhouse photos on Etsy. People loved the before pictures. Made enough for a crib. I was wrong. I thought taking care of you meant keeping you small. I see now you were the roots. Come home if you want. Or don't. Just know the backyard's empty. I kept one pot. The lemon verbena survived. It's waiting. Love. Becca." Maggie read it twice. Folded it into the seed packet, now empty. Part 9. The Return. June 2021. A sack of seeds, and a limp from the COA that had become part of her gait. Becca waited at arrivals, thinner eyes red. Rosemary, 6 months old, slept against her chest in a carrier stitched with tiny marigolds. They didn't speak until the car. Then Becca said, "I tore up the patio. Thought, maybe you'd want to plant something." The backyard was bare earth. One pot sat in the center. The lemon verbena, taller than Maggie's knee. She knelt, pressed her fingers into the soil. It was warm. Alive. "I brought something better than forgiveness," Maggie said. She opened the sack. Blue kernels spilled like sapphires. Becca's eyes filled. "Will it grow here?" "Everything grows," Maggie said. "If you stop trying to make it someone else's garden." Epilogue. The Harvest. September 2021. The blue corn stood 6 feet tall, tassels dancing in the Kansas wind. Neighbors came to see. Children ran between the rows. Maggie taught them how to grind the kernels on a metate she'd shipped from Oaxaca. The tortillas steamed on the griddle, the color of twilight. Becca arrived with Rosemary strapped to her back, carrying a tray of atole. She set it down, hesitant. Maggie handed her a tortilla. "First bite's yours." Becca ate. Closed her eyes. "Tastes like sky." Maggie smiled. "That's what happens when you grow for yourself." Later, when the sun dipped low, Maggie stood alone among the stalks. She touched a husk, whispered to the wind. "History isn't what happened. It's who decides to plant again." She slipped Tom's ring from the chain, pressed it into the soil at the base of the tallest stalk. Then she went inside to teach her granddaughter how to sing to the seeds. The end.